Hello, viewers. Welcome to this series of interview with toppers. So today we have another candidate who has just cleared SEBI Grade A exam from journal stream, and his name is Shailesh. Shailesh, I welcome you to our YouTube channel, and it's really a pleasure to have you on our channel. And I first of all like to congratulate you on your big achievement, and especially, I mean, you being from a rural area of India famous for agriculture and the farmers there. So it's really a big achievement. How are you feeling now?
First of all, thank you, sir, and thank you for also inviting me to share my thoughts. And I also like to have say good afternoon to all the viewers. Yeah, the feeling is very good, sir. I'm very glad, and especially family people close to you, they become very happy due to your success, and that makes you even more happier.
Great. So I'll just give a brief introduction of Shailesh, right? So he's from Akola, Maharashtra, which is famous for its agriculture and its farmers. So he has done his BTech from Pune University, and after that, he has been a UPSC aspirant since last 5 to 6 years. He started his UPSC preparation in 2016, and I really feel enthralled to know that no, he has given 6 attempts of UPSC, and still he was so motivated that he could clear 5 attempts. He could clear SEBI. So that is some kind of attitude we all need to have. So apart from his UPSC preparation, he also entered into teaching, so as to take it as a hobby and also as a means of earning. So Shailesh, my first question to you is: you have seen lots of ups and downs, right? I mean, UPSC journey has its own highs and lows, and now you have been designated as a SEBI Grade A officer. Anyone you want to thank? That those people who have really helped you in your journey?
Yes, sir. Especially my parents and my family. I want to wholeheartedly thank those people first of all, because without them, this success was nothing. I mean, today I have my photo everywhere, but the real people, real faces behind my success is my family, and there was a constant support, and they never complained with respect to my failures. And sometimes that support, and it may be a passive support, sir, they would never ask me what you are doing since my engineering, which field you want to go, which stream you want to join, which exam you want to go for, and how you are studying. They never ask me, but that also shows that they have enormous trust and belief in me, and that itself is a big support for me. And now finally, though it took some time, seeing their faith fructifying, that's the most satisfactory thing, sir. And as far as failure goes, failure basically teaches you a lot of lessons. Most important thing is it makes you humble. With failure comes humility, sir. So that is basically a big takeaway.
Very, very well said, yeah. Very well said. So Shailesh, I mean, the next question is a connected one. You've seen lots of ups and downs. I mean, it's not easy to appear for 5 UPSC attempts, and you cleared I think 4 prelims, and one time you also gave the interview in 2018. What kept you motivated throughout your journey? कहाँ से इतनी एनर्जी, डेडिकेशन, कमिटमेंट आती थी कि एक और देते हैं, एक और देते हैं, और फिर उसके बाद जब पिछले साल प्रीलिम्स नहीं हुआ, आपने सेबी की तैयारी शुरू कर दी? नहीं यार, फ्री नहीं बैठना है, आई नीड टू डू समथिंग, आई नीड टू प्रिपेयर फॉर सेबी नाउ. तो ये जिंदा दिली, ये डेडिकेशन, ये कमिटमेंट, फ्रॉम वेयर यू यूज्ड टू गेट ऑल दिस?
Yes, so there are a couple of things I want to say. Number one, sir, I never do a blame game. I mean, I always take any responsibility of failure onus on myself. There's a tendency amongst candidates that they blame the institute, they blame the UPSC, SEBI, they blame the coaching institute, teachers. I am myself a teacher, so people do that. And I've never done that, sir. So I always wanted to improve. Whatever mistakes are there, I humbly accept it, and I always want to rectify it. That's number one. It's very important. Feeling sad is normal, but if you are blaming someone else, someone external for your sadness, then that's not a good sign. So that is one thing I have. Number two, sir, I never disliked the preparation. I never hated the preparation of whether UPSC or SEBI. I always liked that. And I always believe if you hate something, you will never get it. So if you are hating your preparation, study, revisions, MCQ solving, whatever it may be, a part and parcel of procedure, you will never get it. So I always liked it. And that's very important, sir. So these two things basically, and I always wanted to serve the country in whatever capacity possible. So if not UPSC, SEBI has offered me this particular opportunity, and I'm really happy about it, sir. Now,
right. So you said a very good thing that you wanted to you wanted to clear UPSC to get an opportunity to serve the people and to be part of policy making. So how do you see SEBI as an alternate option? I'm not saying it matches up with, say, IAS cadre or something, but how do you see SEBI as an alternate option for somebody who is preparing for UPSC, but because they are still not able to get the desired result out of that? So how do you see SEBI as an alternative option for them?
Yes, sir. And SEBI is something, first of all, in which I never throw my hat directly to fancy my chances. I studied their working, first of all, and I know what they do and what they are doing in their basically short history. SEBI is not a very old organization; it's a younger organization as compared to others. So because I read the books of former chairmen, because reading is my hobby, and I read the book by G.N. Bajpayee, I read the book by UK Sinha. So from that, I got remarkable things done by SEBI. And as you said, how SEBI can basically fulfill the dreams of serving the country. So number one mandate of SEBI is, sir, investor education and protection. So investors are common people like us. So SEBI is playing a crucial role. SEBI is playing a crucial role in financial awareness, which is a very important thing to do. So yeah, the areas are different, but SEBI is doing the same thing, which maybe in other capacity IS and IPS people are doing. So definitely it's a public service, maybe a little bit professional and technical work.
Yeah, but I think you put it very lightly. Let me tell you, I mean, you will get to learn from the job. SEBI is the largest regulator, I mean, and the biggest regulator of our country, no doubt about that, with respect to capital markets. And trillions of dollars, which is invested in capital markets, that is being regulated by SEBI. And of late, I mean, after 1992, a lot of developments and a lot of powers have been given to SEBI, and they are still being given every year, so as to make SEBI a very, powerful body. And in the coming times, when this financial investment is going to get into rural areas of India, this organization is going to become, I think, more famous than even RBI. So
absolutely,
you have got into a very big organization, that I can assure you.
Yes. There's already various decisions are in pipelines, like social stock exchanges. That can be a boon for a lot of social.
Exactly, and that is
sustainable development activity. Yes, sir, definitely.
That is the main reason SEBI has started hiring since 2018, because they have realized that if they want to be a powerful regulator, they need workforce. Anyways, now you are already part of SEBI. Next year, I'll call you to learn more about SEBI.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any three things, Shailesh, that you think to have something unique in you, or maybe not unique, but those three things, those three qualities that makes you stand where you are today?
Yes, sir. So I will say number one, hard work, sir. I mean, nobody, nothing matter like how smart you are and etc. etc. There's different shortcuts are available, but hard work is non-negotiable. So you have to do that if you want to come in top 80 people out of the 90, 80,000, whatever whoever applied for the phase one. So hard work is first number. It's non-negotiable. Number two, sir, basically is consistency. Consistency is often flies under the radar, but it's very important thing. It's an underrated concept, but it distinguishes champions from others. That is number two. And third, sir, is basically your awareness. Your awareness matters a lot. Your awareness about things happening around you. That came to me after the UPSC preparation. That is very important. I mean, it may not directly help you in solving MCQs, but indirectly it does. especially it helps you in interview, and it helps to basically develop your personality. So awareness matters a lot. It's just not awareness about current affairs, but social, moral, ethical, cultural awareness, awareness about the economy, that definitely impacts. And that was my habit. I mean, I was reading newspapers. It was in Marathi medium back then, but I was reading newspapers since my childhood, and it's even today that's my habit. So that enormously helped me. So awareness is the third thing.
Now, coming to your source of preparation, what was your primary source of preparation?
So one thing was very clear in my mind, that there's a very technical syllabus to it. I mean, costing, companies and accountancy, this kind of subject I never studied in my educational background. So I need a solid source for it, at least a primary source for it, on which I can work hard upon. So EduTap was definitely my source. I bought its course, and through that I started preparing, sir. So that was a basic thing. And then as far as the mock test and MCQ practices goes, apart from EduTap, I also brought the test series and MCQs from other sources also. So these are my sources.
Your primary source was EduTap with respect to study.
Definitely. Yes.
So what is your feedback of the course? I mean, how did you find the course? I mean, you being from a non-commerce background, right? And you still are able to clear the exam. So one is, how do you feel about the course? Is it understandable for non-commerce students? And second is, what do you think? I mean, either from our course or through self-preparation, you have done it, no doubt about it. How difficult or easy it is for a candidate from a non-commerce background to clear SEBI Grade A exam? So I have two questions. First is about the feedback of the course, and second is how difficult or easy it is for a candidate from a non-commerce background to clear this exam.
So first I'll deal with the feedback wala part. So in that I will say most important thing about the EduTap course and its faculties, especially you, sir, that you always motivated us to basically say, no, this exam is not just for CA and commerce background people. Even engineers can clear it. Just it's a matter of aptitude. It's a matter of your hard work. It's a matter of your consistency and efforts you are putting into it. That's basically the good thing. Number two, sir, why EduTap course differs from others is the simplification. I mean, you simplified it. You categorize basically the syllabus material into different classifications, like what is easy one, what is difficult one, etc., etc. And number three, sir, basically the video material especially was very, I can say, is a simple and it's basically, it's notes are also in lucid matters. That definitely helped me. And you basically brought crux for us. So that basically reduced the preparation time enormously, and which is a big factor. I mean, nobody can otherwise prepare in 3 months for this 6 subject, in which you have very limited background, right? So that's about the feedback. About the non-commerce student in the SEBI examination, what is the possibility? Yes, definitely it's possible, sir. So out of 80, it came to my knowledge that 25 people are there who are from engineering, and there are many also who are not from non-commerce background. So you can say out of 80, there are 30 candidates who are from non-commerce background. So yeah, it's very much possible. But you have to basically plan rigorously. You have to plan, and you have to basically design your study accordingly. And you should not have any inferiority complex. First of all, that's very important. You have to keep that mental block out of your way, that you are from non-commerce background and you could not clear it. Because there's a very good quote, sir. First, you have to throw your heart, and then your body will follow. So that was always in my mind. I have that desperation that I want to join SEBI no matter what, and I'll do whatever it takes, legal things, of course, to clear it. And I did, sir. I first decided that I'm going to clear it, no matter in which crowd I'm competing with. So that is basically the thing. You should have a basically commitment first of all.
I mean,
and of course, resources matter, sir. Resources should be chosen wisely. So that is also matter, because otherwise there's a possibility you may go haywire.
Well said. So it's not about the feasibility. I think it's more about your commitment and dedication. And
yes, sir.
If that is there, you can obviously compete.
Yes.
Okay. My next question is, as you said, your primary source was this course, and one should choose their sources wisely. sometimes what happens is when you start reading some course, you have some dilemma in your mind. Is this going to be sufficient? Should I read some more books? Am I doing the right thing? So was that in your mind at some point of your preparation, or it was all like, no, I will trust this course and I'll do whatever is there? What was your point of view? Maybe initially it was something else and later it changed. What? How did it went through your mind?
Yes, sir. I'll try to answer it in 2 points. Number one, sir, I'm familiar with this tendency because I have the UPSC background, and over there also this is a common thing. So, no, there's one very popular form of meditation. उसका नाम ही है non-judgmental, है ना? Non-judgment. That's a popular form of meditation. So you can't be judgmental about the source material and all. So basically, see, the primary source can be different, but you have to trust that. You can't basically just for primary reading, if you're using a couple of sources, that doesn't work, right? It will take you a lot of time, and you won't have any clarity, consolidation, and you are just basically running behind the material. So that's why you have to trust your primary source. So that's number one thing. Don't buy multiple sources for primary preparation. That's point number one. Now, point number two is something certainly different from the point number one. When it comes to practice, when it comes to mock test, when it comes to MCQ, I feel in today's competitive age, exams are getting basically too much competitive. There's cutthroat competition everywhere. So and exams are basically very dynamic in nature, whether it's SEBI or UPSC. So over here, I'll say when it comes to practice, when it comes to MCQ, etc., over there, go for multiple sources. So you should expose yourself to different kind of MCQs from different sources. There's basically you have choice. You can go for different sources over there. But for course, sir, I don't think, and books, you should not going behind too many books and too many sources.
Very well answered, Shailesh. I must say that you're very good thought. I mean, that is the best answer I could listen from all the candidates. That for MCQs, you should always go for multiple sources, and there is no problem in that because you need to practice a lot of MCQs. And I think the more you practice, the more you will increase your probability to learn more and hence to clear the exam.
When we'll talk about sir phase 2 and MCQ component, I'll talk more about the MCQ solving because that was the core thing which helped me to clear this examination.
Sure, Shailesh. Shailesh, now just jumping on to some off the track question, we were talking about preparation. What was your reaction of your family when you cleared this exam? Because SEBI, I mean, it's one of the largest regulators in the world, but being from a rural background and you have people in rural area, I mean, they don't know about SEBI. It's very hard. I mean, they will know about SBI. For them, SBI is a very big bank.
Yes.
It's a very good organization, but they will not know about SEBI. So how was it like telling them that you have got in SEBI, which is one of the most prestigious job in India? So what was your experience there?
Very difficult. So for last few days, my life is difficult explaining on every call what SEBI does and what SEBI means. Basically, what SEBI does is a different thing. What SEBI means itself, as you rightly said, SBI everybody knows because of their rural penetration. So many thought कि यार इसने कुछ spelling mistake कर दिया, इसका SBI में हुआ है लेकिन ये E extra लगा दिया इसने, है ना? तो ऐसा काफी सोचा था. Family का reaction they knew. I mean, my father was basically वो मेरे को बोलते नहीं कि कौन सा एग्जाम दे रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो, but he always make it a point to search it on YouTube and he learns about the exams I am giving. So behind that is basically does that without talking to me. So उनको पता था family को, my mother, I told her what SEBI does and all. But बाकी लोगों को मेरे को explain करना पड़ रहा है कि what SEBI does, what is regulatory body. So I give them example of RBI और फिर उसके example से I explain them what SEBI does. But one good thing due to this lockdown, sir, you might have heard also the news that after the lockdown, the trading activity and the number of demats account opened were basically exponentially high during this time. So उसके वजह से लोगों को पता है थोड़ा सा SEBI के बारे में. At least if not in detail, they know there's a body which is existing known as SEBI. Exactly.
Shailesh, what used to be your stress buster or maybe your hobby during these times when you were struggling? क्योंकि अपने आप को शायद busy या थोड़ा mind divert करने के लिए कुछ hobby या stress buster चाहिए. What was that in your case?
My stress buster is walking. I mean, I like to walk. I like to go for walk. 2 times in a day, I go for walk. Whenever I get bored, I just put on my headphone. उसमें फिर मैं I'll put any podcast and I go for walk morning and evening. So that is a kind of a stress buster for me. And sometimes I watch cricket also if there's matches. I'm fond of cricket, and because it also teaches us a lot about life. So ये दोनों चीजें मैं करता हूँ. I also like commentary, which helped me for my English also. हाँ, एक सर मैं स्पेशल बात यहाँ पे मेंशन करना चाहता हूँ कि when I used to go for walking during my preparation for SEBI, I used to put your videos of management of EduTap course into my mobile, and then I used to go for walking, because management is a kind of topic which you can do that way. I mean, if you can't do commerce and economics and finance that way, but you can do management like that. So I used to use EduTap course material as a podcast, especially for management. So that was good. Sometimes I used to listen current affairs on my walking time.
Oh, that's really great, and I'm feeling really good that you could even understand our videos while you were walking. But this is something unique. Maybe our viewers can note
how management, sir.
How to use your time perfectly, or even if you feel that you're not getting time for a walk or exercise, you can always find time, because during that time also you can do multitasking and you can study. Okay.
Dangerous sometimes, but you can do.
Yeah, difficult sometimes, obviously, but I think once you start doing it, you will get habitual to that.
Yeah, and fortunately at that time the lockdown was not that severe during that October to February wala time. So relaxation था थोड़ा सा बाहर घूमने के लिए.
Time division कैसे किया आपने? मतलब overall you started preparation in somewhere in October after you were not able to clear your prelims in 2020. So after that, how did you divided your time among different subjects for your preparation?
I still remember that one particular video of yours, sir. It was on somewhere in the last week of October. I also remember the duration of it because I watched it multiple times. It's somewhere around 1 hour or 38-minute video. It was just after my prelims result. So थोड़ा सा बुरा तो लगता है of course after prelims result when you don't clear it, but I was determined I'm going to prepare for SEBI now. I'm looking for guidance because motivation is one thing, but direction is also very important. Otherwise steam runs out of steam if there's no proper guidance and direction. So in that particular video, what you do, you basically said to us that it is still available on YouTube. You said even the engineering background student can also clear this particular examination because there's a certain areas in syllabus which they can master. And in that also you said, if you don't have time now, if you're starting your preparation right now, you can basically skip the numericals till phase 1, obviously. For phase 2 you will do between those 40 days between phase 1 and phase 2. So अरे फिर मेरे को लगा कि यार हो सकता है, अपना हो सकता है, अपन कर सकते हैं सब. And you very beautifully classified the subjects. I mean, costing otherwise is completely out of the world for me. But you said costing can be divided into 3 subparts. One part of it is basically a theory part, so from which almost 50-40% question comes. So that can be done in couple of days. So then I thought okay, I need to plan. And so that was my planning. And first thing is the momentum. First you should basically start preparing and then prepare a timetable for yourself. पहले दिन से अगर timetable बनाओगे तो that won't be beneficial because you don't have idea how much time every subject demands.
Exactly.
Momentum काफी
Exactly. ये आपने बहुत सही बात की है. ये मैं बहुत लोगों को समझाता हूँ. पहले दिन से if you start thinking कि कैसे होगा, किसको कितना time देना है, क्या important है, even if I tell you, you will never be able to understand. Once you dig into that, you yourself will answer all these questions. किसको इतना time चाहिए, ये important नहीं लग रहा है, ये important लग रहा है. That's a very, very valid point you have made, Shailesh.
Yeah, it would have been foolish to make a timetable if I don't know what is the syllabus of commerce and accountancy. और syllabus भी पता हो अगर आपको पता नहीं कि कितना time लेगा हर एक component, so it's foolish to do. So I'll say कि first week or so, start reading about subjects, build a momentum, and you will get yourself idea कि how much time each and every subject demands. Like in my case, we were discussing the topic about time division. So in my case, I know I was very confident about economy. In fact, that saved me in the phase 2 itself. So because by the UPSC background, I know about economy very well, and that was also a topic I teach in my classes. So वो मेरे को अच्छा था कि that is in my pocket, no worries about that. Some part of finance also was good. और फिर मैंने सोचा कि I'll basically take the bull by its horn. So I started preparation from costing and then commerce and accountancy, because I know if I get confident in these two subjects, then it will basically give me a good impetus. So that way I did. And you should be very thorough. Okay, how many subjects are there? How these subjects are for you? So SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities. That is very, very important, sir. So I know. So I classified subjects in two categories. So first is basically the challenging subjects for me. I don't say hard subjects for me because vocabulary matters. So I say challenging. So in those two were basically, of course, commerce and costing. Then there were two subjects which are easy for me, that is finance and economy. And then there are two subjects which are no man's land. I mean, there's a level playing platform for those two subjects, that is management and Companies Act. So Companies Act में मेरे को पता था कि whether you are a lawyer or you are engineer, you are at equal footing. So that way, it's basically I got a clarity, and then I planned accordingly.
Really, really good. How many hours did you put in during your preparation of 4 to 5 months daily? How many hours?
Yeah, so including MCQ practice, descriptive answer writing, etc. Before phase 1, I used to study for 6 to 7 hours, and between phase 1 and phase 2, I used to study for 8 to 9 hours. And of course, मतलब last के कुछ दिन में ज़्यादा बढ़ जाता है, वो करना ही पड़ता है.
Slogging, last में slogging तो करनी पड़ेगी ना.
Slogging हो जाता है.
वो तो करनी पड़ेगी.
And फिर time matter ही नहीं करता अपने को.
Now, since you are experienced on this, you have covered the whole syllabus, you have been selected, you're a role model for many. What will you suggest in terms of preparation time? When should they start? Can the preparation be done in, say, 1 to 2 months once the notification is out? Because we never know when the notification is going to be out. Or needs a time of around 5 to 6 months, so people should start irrespective of when the notification comes. What is your genuine view on this?
So I'm considering the students at from my perspective. So basically non-commerce background student. Yes. So I would say preparing after notification is out is a Herculean task, and I think it's very, very difficult, sir. So I think because the volume of commerce and accountancy, even finance, is huge. So I will say you should dedicate at least 5 to 6 months before the notification itself. So time after the notification can be utilized for basically practice and revisions. So that's why I'll say 5 to 6 months before the notification, not after the notifications. Because I was fortunate कि notification, this was 2020 was a very strange year. तो वहाँ पे time मिल गया, पर अभी तो नहीं मिलेगा ना sir. अभी everything will be normalized.
Exactly. That is the point. Last year तो मतलब notification और exam में 1 साल का time आ गया. That you will not.
That was completely strange thing.
Exactly. We talked some points related to paper 2 of phase 2. But what is your opinion on phase 1? I mean, which consists of quant and reasoning, which is Achilles heel for many. But given that phase 1 paper 1 is qualifying. Phase 1 paper 1 is qualifying. And it's qualifying in terms that there will be no merit. You just need to get 30, and you seem to have done justice to that paper. So what is your view on phase 1 paper 1? How much preparation should be done, taking into account the needs of the exam, that it is just qualifying and you need to score 30? And any special tips to cover this portion quickly, because it seems that you should not be devoting too much time here, because ultimately it is paper 2 preparation that will help you to clear this exam. So what is your opinion on how to prepare for phase 1 paper 1?
So first, you should know that there are 4 subjects in phase 1 paper 1. Of course, there's the quant, math. Second is basically reasoning. Third is English, and fourth is current affairs. So everybody will be stronger in any of the 2 or 3 or something like that. So you should know that. First of all, you should do analysis. Like in my case, I was very comfortable in English and current affairs. So I knew that if you want to get 30 marks into that, I get 30 marks from those 2 subjects also. But that doesn't mean you should completely lift quant and reasoning. Your all guns should be blazing. That's a very important, sir, whether it's a qualifying or not. You can't put all the eggs in one basket. Diversification is needed. So that's why I prepared quant and reasoning also. So I put some kind of buffer in case suppose something tragic happens in English or in English and current affairs. This will come as my savior. So yeah. So I basically then shortlisted some of the portions from quant and reasoning that I can easily manage. So suppose I left basically data interpretation and puzzles from quant and reasoning, and I did other part, like they are manageable. So that you can do in say like couple of days or 1 week at the max. So that's why don't take a risk just going for examination just on the basis of 1 or 2 subjects.
Shailesh, has light gone off on
Yeah,
your
sir.
side?
There's a light.
No problem. So you need not worry. It's okay. I mean, you are visible,
Yes.
so that is more than enough.
Yes.
Now coming to paper 2, back to paper 2. Lot of subjects there, right? You told which subjects you gave preference and which were tough for you, basically costing and accounts. Then in company law, though everyone is at the same page, you said obviously it's the bare act which you need to know. But what about the cramming part? बहुत सारी penalties, बहुत सारे sections, बहुत सारी exceptions, और फिर if and else ये हो गया तो ये है, ये नहीं है तो ये है. At times you start feeling यार क्या हो रहा है, मतलब कुछ logical है नहीं, बस you just cram. So how do you manage that cramming? मतलब उसके लिए क्या technique क्या थी?
सर पहली बात तो ये है कि पढ़ना तो पड़ेगा, मतलब you can't hate it just because it's a cramming. You have to do it. That clarity should be there because वो आपको फिर बाहर कर देगा. Because everybody, like I am very much aware, sir. 80 of us got selected now, but we are selected by the whisker. By the very thin margin. So ये काफी मैटर करता है, हर एक क्वेश्चन मैटर करता है, तो आपको तो करना तो है. तो मेरे हिसाब से you have to make notes over there, you have to write lot of stuff, है ना, you have to make notes. So what I did, I made a table. So for important sections from Companies Act, I made a table, and in front of I wrote articles over there, and I wrote what are the important provisions, title of the article, and if there's something to remember about those sections, then I also mentioned it in another column. So I did that particular thing. और उसके बाद मैं फिर काफी उसको पढ़ा, मैंने हर रोज मैं पढ़ता था उसको. Every day I used to revise that, and that way it worked for me. Suppose so you solve some MCQ and then you got, okay, this section is also important, but it is not in your notes, then update it. So that kind of activity only will save you in Companies Act. Exactly. You have to take efforts, you have to write, you have to make notes, and you have to revise it multiple times.
मतलब पॉइंट वही है कि यार एफर्ट मारना पड़ेगा, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब वी कीप रिसीविंग कॉल्स, अगर कोई ऐसे सेक्शन नंबर जो याद करने हैं, ऐसी पेनल्टी जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है. एक दो हम बता सकते हैं, पर वो एग्जामिनर के दिमाग में क्या भूत सवार है, वो पेपर बनाते हुए कौन सा सेक्शन उसने खोला, क्या बना दिया, किसी को नहीं पता. नहीं. So ultimately, if you are a serious aspirant, guys, all these questions, the fascination of important content, I mean, you need to get out of that, right? Unless until you are starting preparation at last minute, obviously there are some things important to be done, but the point is start early and get out of this fascination of something important. Next question.
That is good for schools, but not for exams.
Yes, schools, because there is nothing much at stake, Nayar. If not 90, you will get 87, 86%. And sometimes your teacher tell you that what is important because she knows, she has set the paper. She has set the paper. She tell you that ठीक है यार, ये नालायक बच्चे हैं 4-5, जिनको 2-3 क्वेश्चन बता देती हूँ, at least they will get pass. सिंपैथी फैक्टर आ जाता है. यहाँ पे आपको कोई नहीं बता सकता.
खत्म करना चाहिए सर. आईएमपी कल्चर जो है, इंपॉर्टेंट कल्चर, वो काफी डेंजरस हो जाता है स्टूडेंट को फ्यूचर में. टीचर्स जो भी है, अगर ये इसको भी देखे तो बिल्कुल ना करना, ये सब इंपॉर्टेंट वाला.
एग्जैक्टली. तो ये मैं बहुत स्ट्रांगली एक मैसेज देना चाहूंगा, गाइस, इससे बाहर निकलिए, ठीक है. वी आर ऑलवेज देयर टू हेल्प यू, what are important if you keep persisting with that. But you need to get out of this. So let's put the next question, again very relevant question, numerical.
Yes.
You being from a non-commerce, non-finance background, numerical is something that you at times can be very averse कि यार लंबे से अब करने हैं, थ्योरी समझ आ गई बहुत है. What do you think यार, numerical important तो है, we have already seen in the exam कि यार 10 numerical 20 नंबर गया है. I think that was the distinguishing factor. जिसने वो कर दिए वो आगे निकल गया. तब जो numerical आए, the type of numerical they asked. So what do you think? What kind of preparation is required? You need to get into details of all these numericals, doing some big numericals on costing. There can be whole costing sheet that needs to be made, or you can just do some formula-based numerical and go through some lengthy numericals to have your basics right, and that will suffice. What is your opinion on that?
Again, sir, just like company's law, no matter whether you hate or not numericals, you have to do that because they are decided, as you rightly said. So for phase one, I didn't do that because I didn't have enough time. So वो नहीं किया था मैंने. But between those 40 days, I did the numerical part. And इस ऐसा नहीं था कि कुछ selective किया था. I did it for all the parts. मतलब कुछ बिल्कुल ही मेरे को पसंद नहीं आता था तो फिर एक आधा मैंने छोड़ दिया, एक आधा टॉपिक. लाइक फॉर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कॉस्टिंग उसके जो न्यूमेरिकल थे वो मेरे को मतलब कभी उसमें इंटरेस्ट नहीं आया. बट आई डिड फॉर प्रोसेस कॉस्टिंग, आई डिड फॉर दोस न्यूमेरिकल्स, इजी न्यूमेरिकल्स ऑन पीवी रेशियोज एंड ऑल. So break even point analysis, I did that. For ratio, I did numericals. For finance, I did some numericals. You have to do that, sir. There's no escaping from that. For that, what you can do, and numerical is not just for MCQs. You won't get a clarity on many concepts unless and until you are thorough with the numerical itself. That is also important point. So understanding के हिसाब से भी numerical करना ही है आपको. तो बिल्कुल भी डोंट बी एवर्स. क्या हो जाता है ना सर कि थियरी बिकम्स अ कंफर्ट जोन. अच्छा लगता है थियरी पढ़ते रहने में. द मोमेंट यू वांट टू स्टार्ट न्यूमेरिकल, दैट इज यू हैव टू कम आउट ऑफ योर कंफर्ट जोन, एंड दैट्स व्हाई पीपल आर एवर्स टू डू न्यूमेरिकल्स. बट डोंट बी इन दैट दैट फॉल्स नोशन कि न्यूमेरिकल्स नहीं आएंगे. फेज वन में तो आपकी बोर्ड सेल हो जाएगी, बट फॉर फेज टू यू हैव टू डू.
Next year might be even in phase one they will ask. Yeah, this year phase one was little weird. I think that was the paper that was set by mistake. I mean, how could you set computer questions in SEBI Grade A general stream paper? The starting up of computer is known as what? Booting, something like that. So I still believe, though I am not that official person to say anything on that, but I still believe कि उसमें थोड़ा सा कहीं goof up हुआ है उनसे.
यस, एक तो पैटर्न चेंज हो जाएगा या फिर वो ये चेंज करेगा, डिफिकल्टी लेवल इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, कुछ ना कुछ तो होगा. नो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कैन ऑफर 13,000 पीपल इन राइटिंग मेंस एंड डिस्क्रिप्टिव पेपर्स.
एग्जैक्टली. लेकिन फिर भी आई वाज रियली स्टन्ड टू सी, मतलब दिस वाज अ कॉमन क्वेरी यार, सिर्फ 80 मार्क्स लाने हैं ना और आपका फेज वन क्लियर हो जाएगा, तो या तो पेपर बहुत मुश्किल आएगा या सेबी बाद में क्राइटेरिया चेंज कर देगा. पेपर भी आसान आया, criteria was not changed, then also only 10,000 people could clear, so that shows that number of serious aspirants are very less.
Yes sir, that's very important. मतलब वो ऐसा पेपर था कि कोई भी क्लियर कर लेता था. हाँ, 30,000 is a shocking number sir. I was expecting कि now 50,000 40,000 people will write mains.
Exactly. यही है, आप जो लोग तैयारी कर रहे हैं वो समझिए, नंबर ऑफ सीरियस एस्पिरेंट्स आर वेरी लेस. सीट्स 100 है, है, मैं नहीं कह रहा ज्यादा है, लेकिन एस्पिरेंट 1.5 लाख नहीं है. एस्पिरेंट वही 10-12 हजार है. इस 12 हजार में से भी जिनका क्लियर हुआ, शैलेश आई होप यू वुड एग्री, बहुत लोगों का तुक्के से क्लियर हुआ. दे डिडंट डिजर्व.
बिल्कुल.
हाँ, एटलीस्ट कम से कम 3-4 हजार ऐसे होंगे दोज डिडंट प्रिपेयर फॉर दिस एग्जाम, बट द नेचर ऑफ पेपर 2 वाज सच दैट दे कुड क्लियर.
एक और चीज सर, 1 मिनट में मैं ऐड करना चाहता हूँ फेज वन के इजीनेस पे. मेनी पीपल गॉट कॉम्प्लेसेंट आफ्टर द इजी नेचर ऑफ फेज वन. दैट आल्सो हैपेंड एंड दैट कॉस्टेड देम द फेज टू. सो ये बात मैंने जो अभी सिलेक्ट हुए उनसे भी की है, and nobody of us became complacent after phase one. So that's also another important thing. We knew that SEBI will get back to their core syllabus and they'll ask respectable questions in the phase two, and so that's why that awareness matters sir. नहीं तो फिर कुछ लोग बोलेंगे अबे ये तो हो ही जाएगा अभी, तो that doesn't work like that.
Exactly, very well said. That's a very good analysis. कि काफी लोग जो deserving भी थे शायद वो phase one के बाद they got confused कि यार क्या पढ़े, अब कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा
क्या करना है.
And some people started studying other topics कि यार एक कंप्यूटर की बुक पढ़ लेते हैं, फिर ESI की स्कीम्स पढ़ने लग गए. So that was also, I think it was bit of overdoing, because ultimately if you stick to the syllabus, that is the domain you can master. उसके बाहर there is no limit. Next question is related to mock test, Shailesh. So I remember that you were giving all the all India mock tests and your rank improved a lot.
Yes sir.
So earlier it used to be 700 when you started giving the mock test, and by the time you gave the final mock test you were in top 40. So what do you think is the importance of mock test? And generally we do tell people that mock tests are important, but generally people do not ask, or mentors do not tell that mock tests are important, but why? How to use them to improve your score? How to do your analysis? Can you just elaborate on that?
mock tests are crucial, sir. From my UPSC days itself, I got that idea. Not just mock test, MCQ in itself is very important because on the D day you have to do that, so you have to practice that a lot. And I always have that thing in my mind. If I want to clear SEBI, then I should solve at least 10,000 MCQs in whatever form, in the form of mock test, in the form of quizzes, in the form of YouTube videos, whatever. I should solve at least 10,000 or in that ballpark to clear this particular examination. Now, how this mock test helps you in number of ways it helps. First of all, sir, it's in itself, they are a content. Their solutions and their MCQ itself is a content, so they bridge the gap first of all. So they work like a notes for you. That's the one way. Number two, it develops your those skills, elimination skills, common sense skills that is developed. And you won't believe, it also develops after a certain point of time your intuition. कि आपको intuition आ जाता है कि ये चार में से कौन सा है, वो होता है सब काफी, this looks superstitious but it happens due to subconscious mind. उसका वो rational reason होगा, subconscious mind में आ जाता है कहीं ना कहीं. So that way it helps. Number three, it will help you to gauge your place in the all India level, because फिर वो lot of times you get complacent otherwise, तो उसका भी होता है. So in these 3-4 ways mock test helps you. And number 4, it also helps you with revision. Mock test is nothing but revision, sir. So I'll just summarize once again. Mock tests are nothing but another content for you. Number 2, mock test will help you to develop those skills like elimination, calculated risk, and basically like that. Number 3, sir, it will help you to gauge your position in the competition. And number 4, it's a revision, sir.
Great. Very, very well answered. Now, one part of my question is still left. How do you used to analyze? Did you used to analyze at all? कि mock test देके number लेके और बस अभी इसको analyze नहीं करना है, or you used to analyze?
No, one has to do that. It may be sometimes it may be a painful task if your rank is too low or if your score is low.
Yes.
But but chin up and face it. That is very important. और improvement होता है, मतलब that is again my UPSC experience can hand you over there. Improvement होता है. And if वो अपन ने पहली बात कह दी थी, when you throw your heart, your body will follow. If your end goal is clear, तो ये तो phase है, मतलब होने ही वाला है. And I analyze it thoroughly, sir. Not just score and rank, but questions, the weak areas, the solutions. I used to work a lot upon that. So what I used to do, a simple thing, I used to make a word file, और फिर उसमें फिर मैंने subjects divide किया था कि commerce का component, economic का component, like that. And I used to put points into that in the form of bullet points कि ये areas पे, because what happens is just a very cliche statement but very important, that questions in actual exams are going to similar to the mock exams, and that they are not going to be identical with the mock exams, right? They are going to be similar but not identical. So that's why you should make notes of the solution content. That matters a lot, and that helps you in revision also. And when you make notes, when you update it, when you edit it in right format, somehow they go directly into your brain. So that's why whenever I solved 10,000 MCQs, I made a lot of notes out of it. And over the time, you'll see that MCQs get repeated on same topic, and that will give you good confidence.
So I think you had that 5,000 MCQs course by us also, right?
Yes.
So how
yes, that master course.
5,000 MCQ master course. So how did you help you? What was the quality of question in that course as per you?
Quality is good, sir. And one good thing about the mix of the questions. So there were easy questions, moderate questions, and difficult questions. And another good thing about that is the question was topic wise. So in mock, many times what happens, mock is basically a comprehensive test, but you don't go deeper in the topics. So these MCQ kind of course, MCQ master course, which is a topic based course, MCQs are there. So they'll help you to consolidate your knowledge base. So that's why mock tests are of course advisable, no doubt. But you should also go for a topic wise MCQs. So you'll basically leave no stone unturned.
Exactly. And you had the course by EduTap, which anyways आपने अच्छे से उसको किया होगा, चार्ट लिया होगा. UPSC aspirant तो किताबें बहुत जल्दी चक लेते हैं, तो ये तो इतना बड़ा कोर्स नहीं था. So in what other ways do you feel that EduTap helped you in terms of mentoring and all apart from that course?
In interview preparation finally, sir. So I gave the mock interview at EduTap, And the panelists were basically very senior officers at former senior officials at NABARD and RBI, and they helped me. They gave me the confidence. And in that interview, I realized I know a lot of theoretical things about the SEBI and its working and all, but when it comes to talking, when it comes to answers, clarity is missing. Prioritization of your points is missing. So after that particular one interview, I worked upon that, and then I improved. And it was not basically a hostile interview. It's a kind of basically after that they जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं कि हौसला अफजाई उन लोगों ने की फिर कि क्या करना है, and they also told me the important areas and all. So there was a feel good factor after the interview, and so that was also a crucial part.
I even saw your feedback form, which was sent to me. I mean, I had the feedback form of all the 63 students that got selected from SEBI. In your feedback form by the interview panel, the same thing is written, that this guy is really good, but he does not have clarity in answers. Okay, वो थोड़ा सा clarity नहीं है. So that you have very well got, I think, during your interview.
Yes, okay, and then I worked upon clarity.
Yeah, नहीं वो अभी दिख रही है. अभी तो चलो confidence आ जाता है तो clarity अपने आप बन जाती है, but I can use that clarity now. Revision बहुत I think underrated चीज है जिसको लोग करते नहीं है, ठीक है? I think it's very important because when you're reading, say you're watching videos worth say 100 to 50 hours, it's obvious that no, some things will get out of your mind by the time you're in the examination hall. So as per you, obviously I know that you would say revision is important, but कितनी important है, कितना time we have to give to revision in terms of our overall schedule, और revision कैसे करनी चाहिए? क्या हमें पहले एक बार syllabus पूरा 6 के 6 subject पढ़कर we have to do the revision, or maybe do first 2 subjects you complete, and then you read third and fourth subject, then also revise first 2 subjects. So what is your plan with respect to revision, Shailesh?
Yes, sir. That goes without saying, the revision is a decider, and that I know from my UPSC background. Over there also, it's of enormous importance, unparalleled revision's importance of revision. So for revision, what I used to do, I used to first read all the topics. So I used to cover the horizontal syllabus, right? So, and then after say like second reading or so, or in second reading itself, in case of SEBI, I started doing some highlighting work, some underlining work, reading in margins of the notes, or that kind of thing. So it will be helpful for me revisions. Then not only that, I used to write certain parts from the notes in the notebook. And so those can be then easily basically revised in the crucial moments. Number 2, sir, as far as, because I solved many MCQs, so I prepared the Word file for their solutions and important points from those MCQs. So after that, I also edited that, and I made a concise material out of those solved MCQs. So that also I used to revise, and that helped me immensely, that particular Word file. So at the end of it, I mean, before the 27th of February, that's a phase 2, I have with me 100 pages notes, which were basically nothing but solutions of important MCQs, which I edited very well, and I turned into a concise format. So I had that 100-page notes ready. And also for Companies Act, I had important sections ready, and I was revising that a couple of days before the basically exam. And it's a final revision, but before that also, every day I used to give 1 hour or so to revise, because no matter how good you are with any concept and how thoroughly you read it, after say like end of a week, you are going to forget that. So that's why weekly revision, daily revision matters a lot.
How much time still, how much time did you spend on revision if you read for 5 months? As a thumb rule, what would you say? I mean, 30, 40, 50, 60, what percentage of time would have been spent in revision?
Including the MCQ solving, because it's a form of revision, I think 50% should be given to revision, because for me everything is new. So first reading also take a lot of time. So I left with not much time. So whatever I left with, I use it for revision, because it's first attempt. So you don't have notes ready. You don't have a basic in the you don't have a basic groundwork in the subject. So that's why it takes time for first reading, and be patient. That is very important. Don't go for note making in very first reading. Otherwise you'll end up copying entire notes itself. So be patient, understand first, and then go for note making and revision.
Yes. Or Shailesh, next I'll come to descriptive English. Can you quickly tell about what was your strategy to prepare for descriptive English in terms of practicing the writing part?
Yes. So, sir, tips given by Narvi sir at EduTap, they helped me immensely. I mean, I have a completely different notion about, say, the precise writing. So, sir basically debunked that myth in my mind. No, what you are thinking is not precise writing; it's a summary writing. So that helped me. And though I didn't join a formal test series for this descriptive English, what I used to do in those 40 days, that every alternate day I bought a keyboard from the market, and I used to type entire paper in the stipulated time on that in Notepad, because Notepad don't give you auto correction and the spelling mistakes. And then I used to apply the Grammarly filter, which checks your spelling mistakes and all. And so that way I practice. Content का कुछ issue नहीं था, because I was writing essays day in day out when I was preparing for UPSC. So content was there. Structuring I knew about essay. So everything was new. I knew. Just it's a matter of practice, which I did.
So guys, this is a very important point.
Yeah, that worked for me. Last 40 days, उसमें 20 practice papers लिए, but that is not advisable for everybody. You should start preparing for descriptive English just before the phase 1 itself. मेरे लिए वो काम कर गया था, because I have the UPSC background, and you know, in descriptive English UPSC background helps a lot.
Yeah. So Shailesh ने सिर्फ 40 दिन में से 20 दिन phase 1 के बाद descriptive English की practice के लिए writing on a keyboard. But he has given a disclaimer that if you're following his strategy, try to start early writing for descriptive English.
Definitely.
That will help a lot. Shailesh, now coming to the fag end of the interview, I'll talk about your interview in SEBI. So interview कैसा था? How was your interview? Was it cordial? Was it like a bullet train of questions, or was it a kind of a discussion? What was your experience in the interview?
First of all, it's very cordial, sir. I mean, panel was very helpful. In the questions, you were not able to answer it up to the mark. They used to give their inputs to you, on which I used to say, thank you, sir. So a lot of time that happened. Questions were of different types. So many questions were of course, on my educational background, family background. Those questions were there. And then there were also technical questions, like what is basically the technical analysis in the share market. That kind of question is there. What is insider trading? Whether you basically read regulations of SEBI, that kind of thing. And one very important thing takeaway was basically you should thoroughly study the website of the organization you are applying for. That is very important. So उस पे से काफी क्वेश्चन आते हैं सर. And then there were questions on current affairs, like why basically economy is going down and stock market is going in other direction. Otherwise, basically in normal circumstances, stock markets are the indicators of health of the economy. But today there's a complete decoupling. Why that's happening? So that kind of thing. And one question they asked, and from that the entire direction of interview changed. They asked me what subject you teach in your coaching institute. So I said economy, because I have to take that gamble, because that's the only thing I can impress them. So, and then from there onwards, all the questions were on economy mostly, and mostly there were basically the logical questions. So like so logical questions were there. So case studies were given, which I asked some time to solve for, and then I solved it just to think on those, and then I answered it. So actually, I was basically somehow satisfied with respect to my interview, but there's always a feeling that you could have done something better or like that. But that's a common thing.
थोड़ा सा अच्छा हो जाता है ना, ये feeling हमेशा रहती है.
हाँ, कि इसको ऐसा रिफ्रेश किया जा सकता था, ये एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट बता सकते थे, ये क्लैरिटी कर सकते थे. Couple of nights after that, in your sleep also you are thinking about your interview. वो होता है. But yeah, when I saw basically the experience of other candidates, then I got to know, okay, इतना भी नहीं खराब गया है, सबका ही same ही है. And then my hopes were basically, they rose.
बिल्कुल, बहुत अच्छा. In fact, I have interviewed a lot of candidates. I think when I listen to what happened in your interview, that is the most exhausting interview I have listened to till now. I know they made you solve case studies and all, but otherwise most of the people were, I mean, their interviews are very normal. So yours was something
Yes.
where I think they would have got interested in you, that let us evaluate his ability.
Yeah. Yes.
That's
So just two
always
things
good.
I want to add about interview process, sir. If you permit me,
Yes,
in
yes.
brief, I'll do. Yeah. So number one things are you should have a kind of desperation. Desperation is a negative word, but you should have a kind of commitment towards that, liking towards that particular organization. आपने ऐसा नहीं सोचना है बिल्कुल भी कि this particular organization is kind of stopgap for me for my future career or this is kind of subordinate to my dream. ये अगर आप सोचते हो तो that gives completely negative perception. So you should have that commitment. That matters a lot in your interview, because most of the people, I mean 4 out of 5 are insiders and they are very proud about their organization. So that's very important. You should have a respect for that particular organization. That matters a lot. Number two, sir, you should be able to show that you have aptitude. Right now, you may not be having or possessing the technical and professional skills in which the organization is working, but you have aptitude. On giving you training, you can quickly acquire that, and you will become a valuable asset for that particular organization. So these two things are very important. One, you should have respect, liking, and desperation to join that particular organization. And number two, aptitude. You have to show them aptitude. These two things matters. And yes, so that's how I summarized it.
Very, very well said, Shailesh. Again, I think these tips will definitely help the future aspirants to prepare better for the interview. Shailesh, any
and read books about the organization, so that also helps. Read the books by former senior officers, chairmen, etc., etc. That will give you insights. I mean, on the internet you will get a one-page note on in which area SEBI is working, but when you read the books, so that is basically the words from horse's mouth, and they'll definitely help. They'll give you insights. I know the achievement of SEBI, but when I read the book of Mr. G.N. Bajpai, the former chairman of SEBI, in that he explained how challenging it was for SEBI to crunch the settlement cycle from T+15 to T+2, and what a remarkable achievement it was. And there were many in that particular books. So that will give you a lot of insights. That will give you, basically the insider view, and that will develop your liking towards that particular organization. So that I'll definitely advise to other aspirants.
Exactly, and I think one more point that can be conveyed to the candidates is that if you read these books, and if you are able to quote something from this book, that G.N. Bajpai in his book has said that, UK Sinha in his book has said that, creates a different kind of impression on the interviewer that, oh my God, this guy is so knowledgeable. He's even into reading books by this chairman of SEBI. So that shows your interest in the organization also.
Yes. और मेरे बारे में वो हुआ था सर, because in technical aspect I may not be basically at par, but I have that kind of basically thing in me ki I know everything about the organization. So that worked, sir. And I showed them that I have the commitment and aptitude to do that. तो वो चीज काम कर गई फिर.
That's a very, very good point, Shailesh. And even I would suggest my students now, when they're preparing for interview, that they should read books by RBI governors when they're preparing for RBI Grade B interview. And
definitely, sir. And a good thing is for RBI there are many books, but for SEBI just two.
So this is a learning.
Y.V. Reddy has wrote a book. Raghuram Rajan,
lot of
D. Subbarao has his book. Yes. Many governors have written books for RBI. I read those also.
Great. So this is also a learning from me. Though I knew, but it never struck my mind that no, this could be given as additional guidance.
For interview especially, it matters a lot.
That's great. So Shailesh, it was really nice talking to you again. I mean, this is a common quality among the candidates who have got selected in SEBI. They all seem very honest and they talk from the bottom of their heart. My last request is not a question. Any message that you want to give? जाते जाते आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे हमारे viewers को?
I think, sir, this is especially for the aspirant, that you should always have a bright attitude. Attitude matters a lot. So as I said, never blame any external factor. There will come failures on your way, but don't blame external thing for that. So that will help you. feeling sad is normal, but if you are blaming somebody else for your sadness, then that's not a good thing. So that's how. And number two, sir, have patience. And being patient in difficult situation defines your character, and it defines your future path. So have patience. Talk to your family, talk to your friends in difficult times, and you will definitely get out of this kind of thing. And it happens to everybody. That's normal. So yes, sir, that's what I want to convey.
Very well said, Shailesh. And I'm really feeling proud here that we could have students like you. I think it's not about the teacher or an organization. It's also about the students who shows trust in that organization. They get attached to that. And therefore, I think it's a combination that we are able to produce such an excellent results year over year. So thanks once again for taking out some time from your busy schedule, and you came here on our channel, you shared your strategy, and it was really good talking to you. I wish you best
And
of luck
let me
for your future in
sorry. Let me extend my gratitude to you in particular and EduTap in general, sir. You helped me immensely in my journey. Matlab, this is not for any commercial purpose or so, but it was a very important, basically, resource I had with me, which helped immensely to clear this particular examination. Because in the beginning, it was very difficult for me, but EduTap made it simpler, I would say. And that's why I'm grateful to EduTap for that.
Yes, Shailesh, it's really बहुत खुशी हुई मुझे और cheers. कभी मिलेंगे तो बैठेंगे.
Yes, sir. हाँ, पानी पीने.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.